Hi everyone, this is the gas walkthrough for May 31st. I'm Philip Newman, solving my own puzzle today. This is called To Whom It May Concern, and it is a 159 and quadruples puzzle. We have normal Sudoku rules, 1 to 9 in each row, column, and 3x3 box. Additionally, we have some quadruples clues in the grid, and the clues tell us digits that must appear in the surrounding cells. So in these 4 cells, we need 2 7s. In these 4 cells, we need 2 6s, and so on. And then 159, these are column indexers. The way these work is whatever digit goes in one of these red cells, let's say this is a 7, that tells us where the 1 is in that row, because this is column 1. The 7 tells us that the 1 in the row is in the 7th cell. In column 5, if this were a 4, which it's not, it would tell us that 5 goes in the 4th cell. So those are the rules. We're going to use a trick in this one to make our life a little easier. You don't absolutely need to know this trick to solve this puzzle, but it will make it a little quicker to get a handle on. And we're going to start right here. We need 2 7s. They're either going to appear in these 2 cells or these 2 cells. We can rule them out of 1 cell, and that cell is this one. The reason we know 7 can't go in this cell is because a 7 here would put a 1 here, and that breaks. There's already a 1 in this box. We didn't even have to check, though, whether 1 could go here. We already knew 7 couldn't go here because we already have a high digit. Anytime we have a high digit, 7, 8, or 9, it's telling us that that digit it's indexing is in the last 3 cells of the row. So if we have another high digit, it's telling us that same digit is in the last 3 cells of a different row in the same box. So we can't have 2 high digits in these 3 cells, because they're indexing into the same box if they're both high. Same for medium, same for low. So each of these sets of 3 digits is going to contain 1 of each. 1 low, 1 medium, 1 high. So we have 1 in cells like this, for example, or we have 1 in cells like this, whatever it is. So we know 7 can't go here, so our 7s must go like this. We can't put a 6 here, because that would put a 5 right here. So our 6s go like this. 8 will come back to. 2 will come back to. 4 can't go here because it would put a 5 here. So 4s must go like this. And 3 can't go right here because it would put a 9 in the same box here. 3s go like that. They're all in the same direction. That's just how it happened to work out. Now, there's some more we can do here. We've got some indexed cells now. So this tells us 1 is in the 7th cell. This tells us that 5 is in the 6th cell. This tells us that 5 is in the, this one tells us 5 is in the 4th cell. And this one tells us that 9 is in the 3rd cell. All right, let's come back to these clues. We know we have 2 8s in these cells. Again, they're either like this or like this. These 2 cells, though, index 9. And so wherever 8 is here, and it has to be in one of these cells, the 9 is going to go with it in the 8th cell. But we also know one of these is 8. So this is an 8-9 pair. One of these is 8 indexing the 9, and then the other is 8 to complete the quad, whichever way around those go. You can do the same thing here. One of these is 2, so that means one of these is 1 to go with the other 2. And those pairs are going to help us resolve the rest of the puzzle. A little bit sneaky right here. Let's look in this box. We've got a lot of digits in this column. We're left with 2, 3, 7, and 8. And we're going to look at this cell first. What can this be? This is indexing 5, but 5 can't go in the second cell because there's already a 7 there. And 5 can't go in the 8th cell because there's already an 8 here. And also we knew one of these was 8. So that would also rule 8 out of this cell. So this is 3 or 7. Well, it can't be 7 because there's a 7. So that tells us 5 is here. This can't be 2. And it can't be 8 because we can't place a 5 in either of those cells. This is 7. And then we're left with 2 and 8. And using our high, medium, low trick, 9 is already here. This can't be 8 or it would put a 5 there. This must be 2. And this must be 8. And that's column 5 all done. And we should be able to progress from there. If I can remember what's next. Let's see. We're going to need a 4 up here. 6 here. Got the 5s done. We know one of these is 2. We know this isn't 3. So since this isn't 3 or 2, it must be the medium digit. And it's also not 5 or 6, so this is 4. We can do the same thing here. I assume this can't be low because the 1's already there. It can't be 7. And it can't be 8, so that would put the 9 here. It must be a middle digit. It's not the 5, which I forgot to fill in there. It's not 4, it must be 6. And then this is going to be our low digit, and it can't be 3 or 1. This must be the 2. And that resolves that. This must be 8, resolving those. Down here, we need a middle digit. It's not 5 or 6, so this is 4. Let's going to place 6 here. We didn't fill in the 9 there, and our last digit here is 8. Last digit here is 2. Up here, we need a middle digit, not 4 or 5, so that's 6. It's going to resolve those. 3 and 8 here. 2 and 7 here. So it's 9 and 1 like that. And 9 in the second cell here. 1 in the 8th cell. Is that all of them, or did I miss one? I think that's all. Yeah. So we're done with the indexing. We're done with the quads clues. This is just classic Sudoku at this point. We need a 3 and a 4 in these cells. We need 6 and 7 in these cells. This is a totally symmetric puzzle. So everything I'm doing in one part of the grid, I'm doing in the rotationally symmetric counterpart. This row needs 3, 4, and 8, so this is the 4. And then this is 8 and 3. That's going to make that 7. 3, 6, 2, 8. Let's do the same at the bottom here. 2, 6, and 7. We've got 2 and 7 in the column. 2, 7, that. That's a 3. These are 2, 8. These are 4, 7. And then to finish in the middle, 3, 6, 2, 8, 4, and 7. That's the solution. Yeah. So I'm not going to talk about my own puzzle like I talk about Bill's. I did have a lot of fun making this one, though. This was actually a second 159 quads puzzle because the first one came out way too messy and long. So I made this instead. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know how you did in the comments, and I will see you next time.